Yeah, it's Pete here. Today I wanted to go through how I like to make my videos. With the current state of coronavirus and lots of bridge clubs actually closing down, I think it's a really useful way to actually stay connected with your members. It's that you can create some content, send it out to them, maybe some hands, keep a link with them, keep them invested within the game. So I wanted to highlight my process of actually creating some videos, go through the programs that I actually use, give you a basic introduction to them, some tips and tricks for using BBO for editing and making some videos. But let's jump into it. And for starters, this here is my video editing software. This is called Open Broadcast Software, or OBS for short. I want to give you a quick run through of all the different programs that I use, and then I'm going to come back to this and show you actually how to get started with recording software. So the first one that you want to use, or the first program that you want to get, is OBS, which is Open Broadcast Software. In Google, you can just type in OBS and it will come up, and you can download this. All these programs I'm going to suggest are free. I do use some other different ones, but these are sort of free, basic ones that can get started. But this is the one I use personally, and I think it's fantastic. So this is what you want to do to be able to record your software. So OBS, click that link. If you want to edit some videos, what I like to search for is Windows Movie Maker 2012. It's a bit of an older version, but it is free. It's a nice basic one. So if you Google that, it's actually the third link that you want to click. So you would want to click the third link down, and then make sure you click Windows Movie Maker 2012. There's just a quick summary of all the things it can't do, but it can do some really easy things. It's like simple to use and can do some things well, and the best thing is it's free. I don't use this software anymore. Went for some more detailed or in-depth ones, but I used to use this. Very easy to use, and I'll get you into how to actually use it. Then you'll also need to create a YouTube account. So if you go to youtube.com, up the top right you'll be able to create an account. And when you get to uploading videos, which I'll highlight later, this button here where it's got create a video or post, that's where you'll actually have to use. Then also use Bridgebase Online as well, so I'll talk you through creating some of them. And if you want to create some images, which if I go back to YouTube, if you want to create a thumbnail for your videos or anything like that, a photo editing software that I like to use is called Pixlr. So that's Pixlr.com. This is kind of like Photoshop online. It's free. It's a bit like not as in depth. You can't do everything that you could do in Photoshop, but it's a free way to do that. So that's what I use. So the programs, we've got OBS, we've got Windows Movie Maker 2012, and if you want to edit video images, which you don't actually need to, but just wanted to highlight this, it's Pixlr.com. You also need to use YouTube. You can create a free YouTube account, and then we're also going to be using Bridgebase Online. So let's look at OBS. So this is what OBS looks like when you log in, and basically the main things it's got is scenes down here. We've got lots of different names. I've got one with this webcam, and then some with Bridgebase Online, and then also sources. So when you're in OBS, what you want to do is you want to create a new scene. So down here with the little plus sign, you can click plus, and let's call this bridge. So we're going to be creating a new new scene that it's going to record. So it's gone all black because we haven't told it to do anything. But here we want some sources. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to tell it what to record. So we can click in here, and there's lots of different options here. Basically, the things that you want to know: video capture device. This will be your webcam. So basically, if you want to add yourself to it, that's how you can do it. And we have added a webcam back in. We also want to capture the bridge. So in all these, what you want to do is window capture, and this will allow you to capture a browser. So we'll create a new one. I'll just show you how to do it, and we'll call this one just BBO. BBO2, and this is what it'll pop up with. So then the next thing you want to do is click and find where you want to do it. So here I'll have Firefox, and .exe, and it'll also usually say bridgebase.com if that's what you have open. So we'll click that, and now we have this popped up. And notice I'm sort of hidden behind it. In the sources here, BBO2 is on top, and it's kind of like stacks of layers. So let's get the webcam back on top. So we just dragged that one on top, and now you can see me. We can also resize some of these. So let's just shrink me down, and let's just make this one a bit bigger. You want to adjust this so that it'll capture what you want, but you can resize things how you actually want and can do that. So that's how you can create a scene in BridgeBase. You can create multiple of these, and then you can actually just switch between them as you need. And then over on the right, it's got start recording. These are the main things that you want to be able to know. It's also got desktop audio or your microphone. The bottom one's going, and you can see that. Desktop audio, I tend to turn this down in case other noises pop up, but you really experiment with this. And the one thing you want to make sure is that this doesn't redline. If this goes to like the red line, it'll make a really bad audio sound. So you want to try and make sure your audio levels are staying in the sort of green and yellow there. So that's basically what OBS is. You want to create a scene, your sources, make sure that you get the ordering right, and basically the higher one you can see, and then the lower one, and then basically just start recording. That's basically the basics of OBS. So let's jump in and look at some BridgeBase stuff. So when in BridgeBase, how do we actually create stuff? Now basically one thing that I find really useful is starting a teaching table, which if you click practice, you can start a teaching table, and then you can actually sit in all of the seats. And it'll look like this, where you can see all of the cards here, and then you can control the bids as you want. So if you want to make an instructional video, this is the way to do it. But currently everyone can see all of the cards, and that's not great. So what can you actually do here? So you can click over here and in the 3 lines, and it's got teaching options. And basically you can click teaching options, and it'll usually look like this with Kibitz's user controlled, and we can change that to Kibitz South or North, East, West, whatever you want. Usually I pick South, and it still looks the same, but what I tend to do for making videos is I log in and have 2 accounts open. So currently I am playing on my normal account, and I've got this in Google Chrome as my browser. Then I also open up BBO again, and I create a second account, and this one, it's my second username. And then what I want to do is I want to just watch the tables. So if I click people and search, and then I can type in my username and search for it. It's already showing there, but we click search and it'll show them. And if I click on that, I can then join the table. And now I'm not actually playing, but I am watching the table. And notice now here I can only see the South cards. So in one browser I can only see the South cards, and this would be the browser that I am actually watching or recording. And I'd have the other one open where I can see all of the cards, and here I can just click through and play the hand and highlight the instructional part that I actually want to do. So that's how you can Kibitz the hand, or just control all 4 hands but actually just watch one. So the next thing you want to do, or what I would suggest, is turning off BBO sound, because that sound can get repetitive and not everyone likes it. So if you want to turn off BBO sound, what you can do is click account, and then in settings we can turn sound effects off, so just like that. So account, then settings, turn the sound off. So that's how we can turn the sound off. The next thing that you might want to be able to do is upload a preset hand. So the way that you can actually add a hand in is also in account. It's got this thing called Deal Archive. So we can click over to Deal Archive, and we can create a new folder, or we can go into a hand editor, and this will allow us to actually create a hand as we like, so that we can then save it into a folder. So we create a hand in the hand editor and then save it. Also, there's an import lin file. So if we wanted to select this and then just import a lin file that you might have, that's also how you can do that. So we can use the hand editor for creating hands, or we can import lin files. Then if you want to then play it, so go back to this table that's hosting it, we go up here, and then it's got this deal source option, and then we can click use save deals and then select the hand that we want, and then you can actually start playing it. So we can set hands, create hands, and also just watch them. So that's how I like to use BBO. If you just want to do playing tournaments, that's also a lot easier. You can just choose the tournament and play as you like. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is the video editing software. So this is Windows Movie Maker. It's a really basic one, but basically once you've downloaded it and installed it, this is good for just getting rid of errors. So if there's something that you did and you made a mistake, rather than having to redo it all, you can just use Windows Movie Maker. So when using Windows Movie Maker 2012 edition, all you have to do is click in here and it'll ask you what do you want to upload. So if we go to here, and I've got a file called test edit. So we just clicked in there, found the file that we wanted to do, and then it's just loading it in here. It'll take a little bit longer, and if for longer videos, but this one's just a bit short. So here I wanted to just make a cut here. You can see little sound waveforms. Usually if I make a mistake, I try and leave a gap, so just be a bit silent. So here I wanted to make the cut here, and then I was just silent because maybe I made a mistake. Helped me find it later. And you can just click edit and click split, and then you can click where else you want to go, and you can click split, and now you've got this third part, and you just delete and it's gone. We've now just made it a bit shorter. And then what we can do is just go file, not save project as, we want to click save movie for high definition, and then we can do test edit. And that's really easy how you can edit videos, just very basically, so just to get rid of your mistakes, and then that's saved. That's all there really is to that. So once you've done that, then we want to upload our videos. So when in YouTube you've created an account you want to upload, you click create a video or post and upload video. And then you can either just drag the file that you want in, or you can click here and find it. So here I've got this video that I want to just drag in, and then it'll just start changing it. Down the bottom it'll tell you how the upload's going. You can change the name. If you wanted to create a thumbnail for it, that's using the Pixlr software that I'm about to talk about. You can do that, and you can upload your own thumbnail. You can monetize it if you've got certain limits. You have to have been on YouTube for a while, etc. And you can write a description in here for what you want to do. Basically, you can go through and choose what you want to do. There's lots of different options. You can make it public, you can make it unlisted, which means people will only see it if you send them a link, or you can make it private, where you they need specifically, like you can choose who can actually see it. So that's what you can do, and then once it's done, it's still processing. Let's jump back. Well, let's go forward and go into how to create a thumbnail. Then I'll pop back once this is done. So again, Pixlr, pixlr.com is this free software for editing. You can create a thumbnail. Here's some saved ones, but basically it want a width and a height, and I go 1280 by 720. You can choose a background image. You can put a photo of yourself there. It's got things like one select, where you can select things of all the different colors, and then you can just delete what you want, or you can get an eraser out and delete stuff, and you can add text to images, and you can just edit text and type what you want. So we've got that, and then what you can do is just click File, Save, and you've got a thumbnail however you want to create that. Once you have your thumbnail done, we could have put it in earlier, but let's go back and just add it in now. So this is in YouTube Studio, where you can edit stuff if you're a creator. But here, this is very similar to the upload stuff. We can click Upload Thumbnail and choose a different thumbnail, and then it makes it look like that. We can change the description if we want. If we want people to be able to have the link, this here is the link that we send them. So you can post that link wherever you want. You can put it in an email to your viewers or your members, and that's how they can actually watch your video. So this is ultimately what you want to be able to send to them. And that's basically how I make videos. So just a brief run through of how we did it. Obviously you'll need to just experiment a little bit and try it and see what you can do. But again, the programs that we use, OBS is your recording software, Windows Movie Maker 2012 edition, which when you're trying to find it, I'll post it in the links below. It was the third one down when you Google it, and then make sure you click Windows Movie Maker 2012 and you can download that for free. If you want to do image editing, you can use pixlr.com. This is just free online. My tips for using BBO, and then how to upload it to YouTube. Anyway, thanks all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this and it gave you a bit of an introduction to actually creating videos, and you can use this to connect with your members. And while in these trying times where not everyone can get to a bridge club, you can still get content to them, keep them interested, keep them involved, and hopefully you can create some great stuff. Thanks all for watching, and we'll see you next time.